Stir fry. Is the sound working now? Don't know why it was muted. It's from Aldi. It's like an Aldi stir fry. A little bit spicy actually. Any sounds? Is it alright? Seems to be a bit of a delay. Ah, it's working now. I will enjoy my stir fry. I won't be long. I'll see this off quite quickly, and then we'll crack on with the records. I'm going through my favourite records. This is one of my favourite records, but I've got a pile. It's the different pile. Go through top 10. Oh, gutted, Eric. It's telling me busy. More important. Or, if you're on a conference call, just turn your camera off and the audio off. Just ignore it. There you go, easy. Don't do that. Hello, Retcon Greg. Yeah, I read that right. How you doing, Retcon Greg? How are you this fine day? Where are we all from? I know Eric's from the USA, right? I'm in the UK. It's pretty hot in the UK today, I tell you. Well, at least where I live in the north. Oh, my wife approves of the tea. I made it quite quickly. Whoa. Alabama. How have you been, Greg? Where are you from? UK or somewhere more exotic? Is that two Alabamas? Valley, Alabama and Lillian, Alabama. MA USA. Now, I don't know what all those things stand for. Are we talking Massachusetts? Is that how you say it? Is that what MA is, or is it something else? I'm no good at the abbreviations of the places. Not exotic in the least. Is that what MA stands for? Shelling peas. That's a good activity. Very productive. The chat seems quite slow today. I don't know why. It seems pretty delayed. I'm gonna restart chat. Sorry if you said something I missed it. I'll just double check on OBS. Well, you grow peas and then you shell them. It's cool. I'm just looking on OBS now. I can see it all. Oh, someone said South Africa. Why did that not come through? It's not working properly. Oh dear. What else have I missed? Clifford's from South Africa, now living in Ireland. And yeah, he did say, this is really strange. This isn't working at all. I'm just going to look on OBS and just make that bigger, I think. Ugh. Right across my face now. Can't really see it very well. I'm going to move it nice and big so I can see it. Just about. Where's my glasses? That'll do a better idea, won't it? Oh, I can actually see it now. Oh, there we go. Right. Right, so I'm in OBS and the chat looks miles better, which is good. Cool. Right, I'm all steamed up already. It's just so warm. Instant steamage. So yeah, that's yeah, that chat looks better because there was like 3 people it just didn't put in the chat app on. It's a bit strange. Anyway, I can see it now. Problem solved. Moving on. So if you're still here, I might move so my face isn't in the chat. Yeah, they do actually. Their prescription. I'm quite low prescription, but it just gives me the edge. I can see just that little bit better, a bit more clarity. Leviathan of I just can't see, sorry Ray. How is Rainbow Rising in your top 10? Hello Mr. Leviathan. Greetings to you also. I don't know why I'm moving my laptop. If I move the camera, oh no, that's not that way. And then my face isn't just quite in it. Anyway, so I'll move my plate out of the way. Thought we could go through. I've got my top 10. I think I didn't even count. I didn't double check the count. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I've got 9. Let's add Rainbow Rising on. Did I not even? No, I didn't. I think Rainbow Rising. I had a few backups, a few honourable mentions. Rainbow Rising's amazing, so it's going on the pile. Right. So I thought we would we'd go through top 10 albums, top 10 records, and talk about, mainly just very self-indulgent. I just like talking about music. That's one of the main reasons to do live streaming. So I thought we could start. Might as well start with this one, Rainbow Rising. So someone, was it Monty, was saying it's in your top 10 as well. I mean, I'll probably talk about artwork first. It's the most superficial thing, and then we can dig in. I feel like the artwork is one of the best artworks I've ever seen. It's just so good. I don't even know. By the way, I haven't done any research on this. This is just like, you'll have like whatever my limited or incorrect information is. I don't know who did it or anything like that. Feel free to chip in if you know any more information. But the artwork's incredible, I think. It's very iconic, actually, I think. Yeah, it's just like really epic, of the seas and stuff. Anyway, anything else that's aesthetic before we... I say aesthetic, that's a bit of a broad word, isn't it, aesthetic? Made in England, Owl Music Limited, there you go. Any more information? No, Polydor Records, I don't know whether that's first press or whatever press, couldn't even tell you. Never been really that fussed when it comes to records about particular like what's it called, like a particular pressing or anything like that. But I don't know what pressing it is. I don't really know how to find out, to be honest. But the opening track is what I think one of the best opening tracks of all time. Yeah, no, it is good. I like that as well, actually, to be honest. Rather than like, it's a bit like modern art. Like, oh, you have to know the context before you even look at the artwork, and then oh, now I know what you're saying. Rather than it being what's the word? Like already inherent or self-evident in the art itself. But yeah, the opening track. I mean, who's heard this album before? I mean, if you haven't heard this album, I'm going to say this to all the albums that I do. I'm going to be like, you need to listen to this album. Anything in the top 10, I'm probably just going to recommend it. But there you go. Epic artwork. The opening track, Tarot Woman, is just like one of those tracks where like the hairs on your arm just like stick up, and it's not just like the music and the way the synth comes in and the drums, like everything just falls into place. It's like it's got all the synth, and then it's like, oh, the guitar's like digga 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 digga. It's just like, I want to listen to it now, to be honest. But it's just really epic, and actually the production, which I'm convinced is Martin Birch. I don't know whether it says here, but I'm pretty sure it's a Martin Birch in the producer's chair. But he's just done such a good job of like balancing everything so you can hear everything clearly. But what have you got to say? Kind of prefer the live one that Lineup did in 77 or 78. Well, what's that? I'm sure I don't think I've actually got it. It's not the live in. Is it? Oh no, that's Deep Purple live in Japan. I get mixed up between those bands, to be honest. Feel the same about records. Don't care about pressing. Just prefer black vinyl to colour vinyl. Like a simplistic. Yeah, I mean I'm the same. I think all my records are black, apart from Witch Hazel ones. All the first pressing of the Witch Hazel. I've decided to just collect first press Witch Hazel, which I haven't even managed to do anyway. I'm not collecting all the pressings now because it's just got a bit silly. But yeah, all my other records. I think I have maybe 2 coloured records. I think I have a Helvetic's Port coloured record, and I might have a Dark Forest record that's green. I can't think of any others that are different colour. Is that the record there? No, it's not. Anyway, Tarot Woman. It's just like, I mean, it's actually my favourite song on the album. I mean, like Lady Starstruck, like, and Stargazer. Just like, I feel like those songs are just really solid Rainbow songs. I mean, the thing is with this album is why it didn't initially make my pile, which I thought was 10 records. Apparently it was 9 records. I'm not very good at counting. Can't count to 10. Because I do think that, like Run with the Wolf, but it is a good. They're all good. They're all at least good, if not very good. But it's not like knock out of the park every single song. On Stage from 77 was the name of the live album after that. Yeah, I'll have to have a listen to that. I probably have heard it, to be honest, but or videos of that recording. But yeah, I don't know how anyone else feels about this album. It's very good. There's just, oh yeah, like Do You Close Your Eyes. Just sometimes just gets a little bit like it's not top tier Rainbow, that song. But anyway, but it's still good, and the production just carries it through. Anyway, enough of Rainbow Rising. We'll talk about that all night. So here's the pile I actually picked. Again, I haven't done any research. I don't know. I hardly know any information. Yeah. Fleetwood Mac, obvious. I mean, this is like the most obvious choice, really, for a lot of people. I think a lot of like songwriters and maybe not a lot of songwriters actually. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now, aren't I? But I think from a songwriting perspective, like a creativity perspective, because it's kind of very much pop music of the 70s. It came out in the 70s, didn't it? 77 it says there. I don't know. I thought it was late 70s or something like that. But creativity for pop music of that time. I mean, some of it's not creative. I mean, like lyrically, I don't think it's particularly creative lyrically, or particularly good lyrically actually. But some of the sounds, like there's like. Let's go through it. Anyway, artwork. Again, probably another iconic artwork actually. Looks good on a t-shirt, doesn't it? It's yeah, it's just really cool. And yeah, Rumours just like sums up, like, because I watched a documentary on this actually, so I probably should know some things. I haven't retained all that sort of stuff. But I watched a documentary on it and kind of found an even deeper appreciation for the album, which I already loved. But there are just so many good hit tracks. But like the creativity, I mean, I was hearing some unusual things, but at one point someone's hitting a chair, like to get the dum 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 dum. I can't remember what track that is actually. Someone will probably know. Which one is it? I actually think one of the unsung tracks from this is "Oh Daddy." I think it's like quite a somber sort of song, and actually lyrically it's simple, but actually what it's about Mick Fleetwood, isn't it? And it's kind of like he's been a bit controlling. Christian McVie or something like that. I think that's the general gist of it. So it's kind of like, oh right, that's quite an interesting. And how he makes the album, they're all still a band. So it's kind of like, it's kind of quite a messy sort of thing. But yeah, just you all probably know all this or all the songs on this. But an album that's got "Don't Stop," Go Your Own Way," "Songbird," "The Chain." I mean, on the same album. It's just like I think it's that era, particularly like in the 70s. You'd have an album and you think, gosh, on one album there's like multiple hits. So it's one of those. It's very much not heavy metal at all, but I think it's great, and I actually enjoy. I think it's it gives you a bit of a melodic push and a melodic inspiration if I'm about to go into the songwriting room or whatever. It's a good one to just stick something on. So yeah, I just love it basically. Probably say that about them more. What am I? You said I missed what you said. My band used to say something, so it just went off. What's your feeling on the new Maiden track? I quite liked it actually. Quite like the new Maiden track. For new Maiden material, I thought it was like there was just a little bit of a hint of Brave New World sort of sounds, but in the best way possible actually. I quite liked it. I liked that it was slower. I don't think we always have to be just like all the time. The riff was good, the chorus was good. The guitar solos, particularly the second guitar solo in the new Maiden track, I thought was really nice and actually fairly well thought out, which reminded me of older Maiden guitar solos, because there's been, I'm diving straight into the guitar solos, but I think there's been recent Maiden songs and guitar solos within the songs that don't feel very thought out. It just feels like some shredding over something, and it's like, oh, they could have spent a bit more time. I mean, I'm saying this like, oh, I've Maiden being lazy, but it's a bit rich really, isn't it? But I don't know. That's how I feel anyway. But this latest track feels like maybe they've put a bit more into it. I listened to the different, like the YouTube mix was wrong, wasn't it? I listened to the Spotify mix, and I do think the vocals were one-dimensional. He was just belting even on the quieter sections. But the production wasn't really bad. I mean, some stuff has been bad production-wise on Iron Maiden, particularly newer stuff. I thought it was alright. We're getting that sort of Dance of Death snare drum back. Just fairly natural sounding snare drum. It's not necessarily my cup of tea for a snare drum, but it does sound like an actual snare drum that isn't triggered or something. So I suppose it's for the instruments to actually sound natural. That's quite a good for the production, I think. But oh, you were mentioning that your band used to cover Stargazer a bunch and it got a great reaction. I bet it did. I mean, it's a belting song, isn't it? It's got it's got that drum bit at the beginning, isn't it, Stargazer? But yeah, that's what I think. Oh, should I jump to Iron Maiden then? I might as well. I'll move this out of the way. I haven't put these in any order. I never plan anything. Right, so this is my favourite. This is my favourite. Oh yeah, because Adrian Smith wrote the new Maiden track, didn't he? Who did he write it with? Did he write it with Bruce, didn't he? It was Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson that wrote the new Maiden track. Yeah. So, yeah, that makes sense. Adrian Smith's great. Actually, yeah, he is really great at putting together solos in quite a musical way. I felt like the ending of the guitar solo was good. Anyway, speaking of Adrian's, well, just general guitar solos and general Iron Maiden, I think, I mean, when it comes to Iron Maiden albums, everyone has their favourite. A lot of people say this is not their favourite. From my experience, they've said this is not their favourite Maiden album. But it was the first one I heard, and I don't always like to think that it's the first album I listened to, so it has to be my favourite. But it's just the way it's been. It actually genuinely is my favourite Iron Maiden album. I think it's just that nice area where you've got Clive Burr and you've got Bruce Dickinson. I mean, I think he is my preferred singer in Iron Maiden. Not that the first two albums. What am I saying? Not that the first two albums are bad and I don't like the singing at all. I actually really like it. But it's just that sort of the area where you've still got Clive Burr and his drumming, and all the songs, and it's still fairly early sounding, and the production's fairly early sounding. Although actually I think the production's quite unusual. It's a bit odd. Some quite severe EQ going on in the production. I spoke to our producer about it. He gave me some info. I thought, oh, that's what I'm hearing. But it just sounds old. I remember putting the CD on. Someone lent me the CD basically in school because we're having a conversation about music and stuff. I was like, oh, I've never heard of it. I've never listened to Iron Maiden. And the guy was like, why? Why? And I think he just had it in his bag. You know, we had CD players back when I was in school. So he was like, take this now. And he gave me this album on CD, and I put it in my CD, my hi-fi at home. I was like, this is like nothing I've ever heard before. It's just, I was like, it kind of sounds like old-fashioned, but I was really confused. I've never heard anything like it. So it was just like just a life-changing experience. Actually, it sounds a bit odd, you know, because I'm married and I've got kids. Those are life-changing experiences. In the musical realm, it's pretty life-changing for heavy music and actually kind of classic heavy metal. But anyway, I said I was going to talk about artwork. I mean, it's just, again, quite iconic artwork. Typical Iron Maiden cover, really, in lots of ways. Yeah, not really much to say, is there? Pretty evil looking, sort of. The back's quite funny. Okay, they're looking quite young. Quite like the back. It's still just got that little bit of we're a new wave of British heavy metal band. Just on the kind of, they're really kind of rocketing their success, but they're still got that sort of, we're still a rough and ready heavy metal band. But I mean, I really like all the songs, to be honest. I think Run to the Hills is one of those songs that I've heard so many times and it's a bit overplayed. It's probably my least favourite, actually. Which is like the hit off the album, isn't it? Invaders is sometimes, that chorus is a little bit silly. I think, Invaders, dum ba dum ba dum. But I still like the song, and I dig it down, down, down. What a great opener. But then, you know, Children of the Damned, Prisoner, Acacia Avenue, Number of the Beast, Gangland, Hallowed Be Thy Name. Maybe Gangland's a slightly weaker one, but there's just, again, hit. Just so good. I mean, Hallowed Be Thy Name, what a great ending for the album. I do like Gangland, actually, but I think it's not as good as Acacia Avenue. I mean, that's probably my favourite song off the album. Just musically, just so, I mean, that riff is just one of the best riffs of all time, I think, personally. I love playing it. It just feels good to play on guitar, and it just sounds amazing. But there you go. That's a pretty obvious choice, really, from me. I've got all the stuff. What shall I go to next? Shall we stay in the same sort of realm? So this is an album that